And that way, I'll send you a copy of the recording, and then if you can, I'll send it to you in a YouTube so that you can share the link, and y'all can go back and play it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, because I give you a lot of word choices here, and I don't want you to feel you have to write crazy. All right, so if she agrees to, yeah, I think I would like to explore if this is a fit for me, then you set a follow-up appointment, ideally between 24 and 48 hours from when you've met her. When you're having this conversation, number one, you really do want it to be person to person, whether it's sitting and having coffee, where you're having a conversation. You can do it on the phone. So number one, you can do it face-to-face or on the phone. Number two, write notes, to have something that you can write on. Now that we have the income brochure, you can be physically filling in the income brochure with the questions, because you'll see, I'll talk to you about in a minute, the page we're going to be on.
Little pink booklet.
What?
They have one. They all have the brochure.
Yes, I know. They told me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised Lynn is completely prepared. Okay, so then your third tip about this conversation is that you're going to listen more than you talk. If for this conversation to be successful and to increase the chance that you get a yes, you are going to want to listen more than you talk. And for some of you, this is going to be a stretch, because you think that you're supposed to be giving her a lot of information in this conversation, and it's the exact opposite. So I'm about to simplify your life, and you're going to love it. Are y'all ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So just a quick walkthrough of the brochure. When you're in this conversation with her, you will have given her an income brochure if she sets up an appointment. So she will have this in front of her when you're having the conversation. So you would say, okay, so let's just take a quick look at the spread on page 4 and 5, and you'll see that we've got several reasons why women like to be a 31 consultant, whether it's cash, products, being a part of a company that gives, and you just highlight some of these things, and that's it. Don't read this for word. Don't go into the trips and where y'all have been on trips. This is just high level, because the goal in the first question is to find out what's important to her. This just gives her a quick visual. Then we're going to go to question 1. So here are the most popular reasons why someone starts a business, and then you're going to go to what's your why. And then this is, what page is this in your book, the visual that I have right here?
6.
6? Okay. So then you're going to go right next to this page, and then you're going to say, so I'd love to, ask you 3 questions. The first one is, what is it about 31 that makes you want to learn more? So hopefully maybe some of those pictures triggered interest, or if she was at your party and you were planting seeds, she is more than likely going to give you one of the answers below in that box. So she will say either earning income, products, flexible schedule, sisterhood, personal development, and we even have a little line there if there's another reason. But she's going to tell you, one of these answers. And what is so great about this 3-question interview is that when you ask the question, I'm going to tell you what the answers will be. So there's not going to be any part of this conversation that's going to throw you, because I guarantee you one of her responses will be income, product, or fun, or relationships. It's going to have something to do with one of those. So that's great. We know what she's going to say. You write that down in her book. Now, your response when she answers the question is short and brief. This whole conversation is going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes tops. And if it takes you longer than that, then you have said too much. So after she gives you her why, and I think I want some more extra income, we could really use it right now. Your response is, you know what, Lynn, you are exactly right. It is some really, really good income for the time that you put in. Or if she says product, you would say, Oh, that is a great benefit. I would love, I can't wait to tell you about how you can earn a lot of the catalog just in your first 4 months. Or she says friendships. Say, oh my goodness, I can't wait to introduce you to the team. That's it. Do not start explaining the wishes program. Do not start going into the math and the commission and that we're affirming her and we're moving on. Now, you guys, this might be very different than what you've done before. I want you to know that my entire career, and every person I ever recruited was on this 3-question interview, and I taught my leaders, and I'm just telling you, those that do this interview, even since I've taught it at 31, tell me it absolutely works. So I want y'all to give it a try. So again, top level. Then we go to question 2. As soon as you say, yes, income, it's great. You can earn a lot of good money. It's really good money for the time. So the second question I have for you is, what, if anything, is standing in your way of giving 31 a try? That's right there on your sheet. So right now we are inviting the obstacles. Now, why do I want to invite an obstacle?
You can overcome it.
Yes. Did somebody say so you can pull it?
So you can overcome it.
So you can overcome it, right? So I want to know, I would rather know now if you have an obstacle so that we can work together to see if it can be overcome than for it to come up later. So this is where, you know, she will tell you, and I will tell you again, we already know the answers. It's one of 3 things 9 times out of 10. It's either time, she doesn't think she has enough time, money, or support. She's concerned that she doesn't know enough people, or, you know, how is she going to get started? So again, so simple, quick answers. If she says that she doesn't have, she's like, I just don't see, I'm so busy right now, I just don't know how I would do it in my schedule right now. If she expresses time, ladies, it's because she doesn't know how much time it takes. So she's made up in her mind, you know, I'm starting a business, this has got to be consuming. So your response simply is, could you find 3 to 5 hours in a week to make $150? Now, so did you see I just gave her a time versus income, and basically answered the question of what she could make in what amount of time. And if she says, well, yeah, I could find 3 to 5 hours, great. And now I used to take it a step further and say, could you find 6 to 8 hours to make $300 in a week? Because my standard was so much higher than at 31. I would challenge all of you. I didn't even sign a recruit unless she had 6 parties booked, because women could find 8 hours in a week to make $300. So I didn't sell them short of that. But that's up to you if you want to go there. Then the next potential obstacle is money. And she says, you know what, I just don't even have the money for the kit right now. Of course, right now, for the next few days, you guys have another option for her in terms of a lower cost, so that helps. But in our all day, every day, sometimes they even think $99 is something they don't have. And typically that obstacle comes because she has not seen it as an investment. So this is where you would bring in the word invest and say, well, you know what, Lynn, I would like to encourage you to look at the $99 as an investment. When you think about investing $99 and you know you're going to get the return right away plus profit, could you find that money somewhere else, whether you're borrowing it, charging it? Because if you follow my training, you'll get it right back. So I think you ladies would agree that we compartmentalize our budget. And when we're thinking about spending, it's one place. But when we're thinking about investing, that's another place. Am I right? So we want to kind of help shift her thinking there, and see if she can, you know, she's willing to sell something, she's willing to clean a house, borrow. you know, and if she's not able or willing to come up with $100, do you think that this is a fit for her?
No.
No. Because that is, you all agree, this is a very small amount, very based on what the return is. We know this. All right, and then the third potential obstacle is support, which was always my favorite obstacle if she had one. And because I would say, oh my goodness, that's not even your job. My job is to partner with you and help you think of your starting hostesses. So we work together on that. So I kind of put her mind at ease with that, and that's an easy obstacle to overcome. Any questions here? Sometimes overcoming these three objections, people might not feel comfortable with. Did my word choices sound like something you could say?
Yeah.
Any questions about the overcoming obstacles? Okay, so that was question number 2. Then we just go right to question 3. And by the way, sometimes it will happen that when you say, can you think of anything standing in your way or giving 31 a try, she'll say, no, I can't think of anything. Great. Move right to question 3. That's it. You just, so then it's, when would you like to get your first paycheck? Do y'all see how simple this is? Has anybody been maybe making this harder than it needs to be?
Yes.
Okay, because when I told her I would like to help you explore if this is a fit for you, that is exactly what these 3 questions do. And if you've taken it a step further and taken it upon yourself to this be an informative conversation, that's not all about her. That is not about exploring if it's a fit for her. And if you're talking about how it's impacted you and obstacles you overcame or money, what you've done with your money, it was about you. And sometimes that just gets overwhelming. And when it's all about her and we quickly get to the close, she's more likely to say yes. So with this final question, in our booklet, we have it, you know, would you like to make it in 2 weeks, a month, or 6 weeks? I personally like to have the next 2 possible paydays, you know, tip of tongue. And so like if I was interviewing somebody today, I would say, so would you like to get your first paycheck on March 10th or 25th? So that way she knows the paydays. We're answering a lot of questions in that question. So then she can choose. Now, why would that information be very helpful for you to know when she wants to be paid?
Know what her sense of urgency is.
Okay, that's definitely going to tell you that. What else?
When she needs to start.
That's right. Is that the same person that just answered?
Yeah, that's Glenn Brown.
Okay. Oh, hi, Glenda. Yeah.
Hi, doll.
You're exactly right. So that's the next thing. It gives you a timeline for her strong start. And how many of you would agree, as a woman, are we more likely to do something when we've made the decision?
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of, you're going to need to get 4 to 6 parties before this date if you want to get paid on this date. That's great information, but psychology tells us that a person, especially a woman, is more likely to take action when she feels that she made the decision herself. So that's why I love this closing question. It ensures her that she's going to make income if she works, but it gives you a timeline. So if she tells me March the 10th, then I'm going to say, all right, are you ready to get to work? You know, do you want to go ahead and schedule your launch party? Can we look at your calendar? Everything is in the form of a question. Hear me clearly. Avoid statements and telling her. ask. Everything is in the form of a question. Would you like to look at your calendar and schedule your launch party? Would you like to look at other dates that you could possibly have a party? Would you like me to work with you to help you develop your list of your first hostesses? Would you like to learn about some word choices that I'm telling you, by her giving you a yes, she's open. She's open to hearing what you're saying and more likely to do something with it. Any thoughts on or questions? I'm going to stop share on this. Any thoughts around this? No? Okay.
More easy than we've been making it.
Yeah.
What?
It sounds a lot easier
Yeah.
than what we've been making it to be.
Yeah. So are y'all willing to try this approach?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm circling back and I'm going to go full circle to where we started when I started talking to you about the interview. And I said, we're going to get people off the fence. Because when you ask her for the payday, it will be one of three things. It'll be she gives you the payday she wants to get paid. She will tell you no at that time and say, you know what, I just don't think I want to do this right now. That's fine. We have to have no's. Or the third thing would be, you know what, I need to think about it. And that is that like your least favorite thing to have to hear?
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me right now? Okay, I'm just kidding. But yes, but this is a very common thing. But like I said earlier, it is typically because when you invited objections in question 2, something did not get tabled. Okay, and it's typically more personal in nature. So again, I recruited for 9 years hundreds of women, both for myself and for my team. And this was so consistent. 9 times out of 10, you would hear her say something like, you know what, I've done direct sales before and I just don't want to fail again. Or, the thought of standing in front of people or doing any kind of presentation, it just makes me so nervous. I'm really shy. Or the money situation might come up here. So here's how we get that out of her. You don't have to write this down if you're going to go back and watch this recording and screenshot this. But as soon as she says, I need to think about it, you can say, and use your own words, but listen to what I'm saying. I would say, Lynn, I'm in the business of helping people. If you tell me that you want to start this business, I will be your biggest cheerleader and help you every step of the way. If you tell me no, then I'm just going to appreciate your honesty and we'll have a party. But when you tell me that you need to think about it, I don't know how to help. Do you mind if we explore further what it is that you need to think about? All right. So what I did there was I gave her permission to say no to me. Because you would rather hear no right at that point than for her to really just go sit on a fence and then you're just wondering if she really is a no or if she really is thinking about it. So we really do want to pull the no here if we possibly can. And that's why I highly encourage you, as soon as she says, I need to think about it, you say, you know what, if I'm in the business of helping people. So by starting the sentence that way, it kind of breaks down a wall. You know, and it lets her know why you're leaning in a little bit more because you do want to help. So how many of you would say, you know, I think I could feel comfortable saying something like this? Okay. All right, so that's, and honestly, here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and just tell you to think about the people that you currently have sitting on a fence right now. Do you think you could go back to those fence sitters, especially since we have a spring essentials kit that could help somebody where their obstacle was money. But you could go back to your fence sitter and actually pick up right there. You could call or text them and say, you know what, Susie, I am in the business of helping people. And if you tell me that you do want to start 31, I am going to be your biggest cheerleader. But if you tell me no, I'm just going to appreciate your honesty and you'll just continue to be my VIP customer. But when you tell me you need to think about it, I'm not knowing how to help you. Do you mind if we explore what it is that you're thinking about? Do you see how that we're going to get her off the fence. She has to come off the fence. We need a yes or a no. Now, how many of you have people on a fence and it's time to knock them off? Yeah? All right, it's time to go get those fence sitters. I think it's your fence sitters that are going to be, you know, the people that you really want to go back to. And I hope that by having these word choices, it gives you kind of a little bit more fuel and courage to go back to them, because who can't say I'm in the business of helping people? You know, who doesn't feel good saying that? So that's an approach that you can take. All right, well now Lynn, I have given them a lot between the 5 habits and the 3-question interview. That's a lot of information. So I'm glad we recorded some of it, but does anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a question on one of the obstacles. It was either the time, the money for the kit, or then support. And what I hear quite often is, I don't know enough people like to get my business going, or I'm scared I'm just going to be bothering my family and friends. What's a good overcoming statement to that, or question to that?
In the interview itself, I would keep it as top line as what I suggested. And that is, I don't want you to be concerned with that, because my job is to partner with you and to help you think of those starting people and to help you feel comfortable with how you would approach them. We do that together.
Okay.
Because you and I both know, even if somebody's new to an area and they don't know a lot of people, we just have to help her identify 3 or 4. We need to help her book her own launch party, and she's going to get bookings from that. And we'll help her think who's in your circle right now that you can invite over and launch. And then is there a couple more that we could work with? But say, I'm going to work with you on that. You don't have to have this solved in the interview. Does that help?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, good.
What about the woman who uses her husband as an excuse?
Okay, yep, love that one. I forgot to mention that one. That one sometimes is the one that comes after I need to think about it, because they're maybe ashamed or embarrassed to say that I can't make a decision without my husband, or my husband would want me to talk to him, or whatever. So sometimes that comes up after I need to think about it. And so, believe it or not, I have a response for it. So when she says one of 2 things, I need to pray about it, or I need to talk to my husband. Those are 2 conversations I'm not messing with. I'm going to respect those, right? But I do not see those as her getting on the fence, because I'm staying in control of the process. Listen to how I stay in control of the process. This is habit number 5. I say, Lynn, you know what? I completely respect that. And it sounds like you need pillow time and you need to sleep on it. You got important conversations that you need to have, and I encourage you to have them. So what do you think about reconnecting this time tomorrow? And we can just kind of find out how things went. Now, if it was an excuse and she was not genuine, sorry about that, with needing to talk to her husband, and she was just trying to get off the hook, then that's where you'll pull the no. Because when you say, can we talk this time tomorrow and just kind of see how your conversation went, then she'll just say, well, we'll see, or, I'm just not sure, or whatever, you're going to know by her response. She's because if she says, yeah, let's reconnect. I want to let you know what he said. And then you could also take it a step further if you wanted to and say, are you interested in some talking points to share with him about what you're wanting to do. And if she's, again, a question, don't say, oh, let me tell you some things you can say to him. Remember, she has to decide that she wants that information. So you can say, would you like some talking points on how to approach your husband with that? And if she says yes, again, you will know that this is a valid concern. She really does need to have this conversation. And then set up the follow-up. Say, can we talk this time tomorrow? And if she says, yeah, that would be fine, then it's great. So in the next 24 hours, whether you're praying or talking to your husband, why don't you also just be conscious and thinking about people that love 31, love you and would want to support you, and just start jotting names down. And then when we talk tomorrow, you're already going to have a head start. So, I'm going to have her using that time to be productive. But she's not on a fence. She's not on the fence. Does that help, whoever asked that?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? All right. Well, I would love to know your biggest takeaway. I'd love for 3 people to share something they're going to change or they're going to implement between the habits and the questions.
I'm going to stick to the 3 questions. I tend to be very wordy with them.
Okay.
I kind of like vomit 31 and I need to stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop the madness.
Yeah. And guess what? You'll have plenty of time. She'll have plenty of time to learn about wishes, and learn about, you and everything, but it'll come in the right time.
Yeah. I'm going to use this tool because it's available for us. Yeah, for sure.
And remember, that one's a little bit more of an investment than the opportunity brochure. So when you are seeking in their level of interest, use the opportunity brochure, as I call it, the bait. So you're going to kind of hand it to them at the party and say, would you like to learn more? It's when they set up the interview and the follow-up with you that you say, okay, here's a brochure we're going to go through together. And then give it to her. I'm sorry?
Do we have like an online, like if we're setting up like a phone conversation with her with that interview rather than in person?
Yep. It's electronic.
There is okay, so you just send her
You can download the PDF, you can email it to her, if you Zoom with her, you can share your screen. Yep.
Okay.
That's a great question.
I really like the idea of everything is a form of a question.
Me too.
So that I'm not, I think that will keep me at bay from vomiting. Like that will, that, and if I start to vomit, I will say, okay, question. I think that'll help me.
I like the idea of it making it her decision.
Yeah.
So empowered.
Yeah, there's just psychology to it. It's just,
And
yeah.
it's not a pushy. You're not
That's
very
what I was
pushy
just
if
gonna
you're
say,
asking
yeah.
them questions.
yeah.
I don't
And I'm telling you, y'all watch, when you take this approach, your qualification rate is going to go up, because when the woman decides that she wants to be paid and she decides how many parties she wants to do, she's more likely to do it.
I like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, Lynn, you got some hungry, wanting to grow women here.
It's like I looked at my watch and I was like, I cannot believe it's been an hour that quick. Can y'all?
Wow.
It's like, wow. So thank you.
You're welcome. You look like you're sitting on a throne.
She is. Yes, we are. It's there's 5 of them here. So I said, well, when we do our tips from the top, I'm gonna set them in their throne chairs right up front and let Let everybody ask them anything they want to ask them, but they will be on the throne, so they will feel empowered no matter what.
I love it.
So, yeah. So thank you so much for taking your Friday night and sharing with us.
You are so welcome.
How excited they can be that you're going to be in their life a lot.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
somebody just said, I can't wait.
Oh, all right.
We're sad, but we're sure happy for everybody.
Yeah. All right. Love you.
Did you hear them? They said they're happy. They didn't care if I was happy or not. They're happy. They really love me. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm raising strong, independent children. They just care about what they need to do.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. But just tell them every now and then come home for Christmas, okay? Love you, girl. Thank you so much.
Love you too. All right. Bye.
Thanks.